Good morning, afternoon, evening, and welcome to the Mish interviews. Bill B from Mishappenings here. Some people call me Mish. Other people call me a lot of things that I'm not going to be able to repeat at this point in time. So, without further ado, Mishappenings has changed to an interviewer. Oh, is it interviewer or is it interviewee? Is it? Oh, yeah, that's right. You are. Yeah. Okay. With us, we have Steve Birkin of Hybropsyche. That's right. I've pronounced that correctly. And we're going to be interviewing his book, Steely-Amelia, and get that in there like that. And just so you know, it's me. Here's the hand. You recognise the hand. Steve, how are you today?
Yeah, Johnny Mathis.
Yeah, okay. For you, those of you who don't know who Johnny Mathis is, go and look him up.
Yes.
Right. So today we're here to talk about Steely-Amelia, which is your first book. If I am I right about that? I am
the
right
first
about
published
that.
one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay. So, of which is basically sort of a, would I call it a gothic novel in a lot of senses? I'll tell you what. Why don't you explain it to us?
No, it is.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, that's for the Bitesized interview next week. I suppose it's got a dark element, I think, but I think by modern standards, I won't say it were a gothic novel. Because, how do I describe it? I don't know. Well, a fiction biography with some dark segments in there.
Okay.
That's probably the best way to do it, I think.
Is there any sort of romance in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing about it, the Amelia character is not your regular Josephine Smith.
No, because she's Steely.
Yes, she's Steely. But the point is that the kind of point of the book is, or the point of the nickname she gets thrust upon her is that, is she Steely, or is it just because she doesn't want to do what the society says thing?
Excellent.
So she is somebody who, she has a real sort of tight circle of family or friends in her life, and that's enough for her. She doesn't believe in just going out and being popular because everybody else is. That's not to say she isn't popular in certain times of her life, but we can come on to that a bit later if you like.
Okay, I might not.
Yeah.
Okay. It seems that you may have written this from a female. Am I right in saying that?
In the first person. That's what gave me that challenge. And kind of the reason I did that is I've read a lot of books in my time, modern ones, geeky ones, Victorian ones, etc. And I have to say, I think I was quite taken by the Brontes.
Don't mention the Brontes.
Don't mention the Brontes. Yes, which I've got YouTube videos on. Check that out yourself. But I think it was the way, say for example, I'd probably say not so much Emily Bronte, because I think Wuthering Heights is the real version of Wuthering Heights is proper heavy going. It's really difficult to get into. The films are always a lot tamer than what the actual story is. So Emily Bronte, in regards to her sort of poems like "So Hopeless Is the World," I doubly prize thy world where hate and doubt and cold suspicion never rise, where thou and I and liberty have undisputed sovereignty. And it's literally about that sort of thing about Emily is she's just saying she likes to be on her own. She doesn't like, she hated having to be sent to school and to teach in different schools. She just loved being where she was, and why not? Why should she have to? But again, it's the money situation that compels you to have to do things like that. But I think the Charlotte and Anne stories are a bit more. What can I say? You get to feel they're really good at explaining, particularly then about how women were treated in the time, and I think I could relate to that quite a lot. because it's not just, I think in a way what women were going through then is kind of like what disabled people and LGBT people are going through now.
Okay.
And it's the way she could articulate it, and it just, when I was putting Amelia together, I started writing in that first person point of view and thinking, this is daft, this is not going to, I'm going to feel daft doing it. But I got so far through, and obviously because there's lots of elements of Amelia that I relate to, or that she relates to me. There's lots of elements of Amelia that I relate to, or there's lots of elements of Amelia's dad in me as well.
Okay.
That type of thing. So long and short of it is, I don't like doing Johnny community stories. Everything to be, if you're a northerner, you're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You watch any kind of film, all that type of thing. If you listen to, all that type of thing is anybody who's sort of kind of sensitive and not macho in any way has to battle with the community, not the northern, but the working class community. It's not so much that way these days, but you can tell from their sort of lifestyles, and everybody's doing it.
Definitely.
So I'd rather do something about individuals rather than the masses.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah, I get that. And by the way, I think you may have actually memorised far too much from the scene of Wuthering Heights. You might actually get busted for that. But
no, that's a poem. That's one of their poems.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's called Stan.
Well,
that's calls to imagination. Yeah,
okay. Well, in that case, you remembered far too much of that. Now, of course, I'm not going to let you get away with not doing the romanticism bit. Is it romanticism?
Because obviously you were looking forward to that. So.
I was, yeah. Even though I'm not. Do know me, you know that I'm just not that type of person. That is actually very true. But enough about me. Tell us more about the because there was a time in the book when Amelia was, dare we say this word, but a bit of a slapper. Oh, we might have to bleep that out. Nah, let's not bleep that out. No. Tell us about that.
Scarlet Woman.
That's the one.
Well, yeah, it was with that situation. How can I say? Well, obviously, yeah, Amelia was the kind of a person where initially you got the impression that she was kind of a loner and kept herself to herself, mainly because she came from the country and into a small town situation.
Okay.
So, that's one of the things. But she genuinely had that sort of feeling that she was happy with her own sort of little circle of friends, family, etc., and probably didn't want that to change. But as peer pressures go on, and we've all done it, whether it be sort of screwing around or smoking or drinking or whatever else, that when you're doing it because everybody else is doing it, and when it comes to sort of like sort of losing your virginity and things like that, then that is a big milestone pressure in the way. Amelia, again, probably because she was a bit too clingy for this one person who was becoming her boyfriend, and then he literally just went and disappeared from her life.
Yeah.
She was still getting the pressure, and so she went the opposite way around, as trying to become, well, I'm going for the best if I'm going for it at all. And she went for this posy kind of bloke in a capri, things like that. And I think what I would just say about this is and later sort of darker sexual sessions in the book.
Yeah.
That all I can say is I do hope that people think I've got it, that I've been sensitive about it. I've not gone into graphic detail and things like that. I've said enough, I think, for into situations. So, again, if society says we've got to do it, then I'm going to do it. And sometimes people go the other extreme. So
that's right.
Later on in the book, she ends up doing the clubbing and going out, going in bands, and she's doing all the, lots of drinking, just getting herself into lots of debt and things like that. And again, it's all about because society says you've got to be out there, and she was trying it. Yeah. She was learning for herself. It wasn't in there, but it wasn't the best thing for her. in the end. But that's what I'm hoping comes across in the book, that she's an individual, and sometimes she made mistakes in life. She was happy in a relationship but didn't want to get married, and again, that wasn't what her current partner wanted. It became very dark between those two from that point on. So that's probably all I can say without making this too long.
That's excellent. No, that's fine. So we're coming to the end of the interview now, and what a wonderful interview it was. And even though I think we should have actually heard a little bit more about the darker sex. Oh, I tell you what, read it instead.
Yes.
This is what you need to do. So your book is available on Kindle, on Stones. Tell me a little bit where else it's available.
You can just walk into any bookshop and ask for this. You will have to say, I don't suppose you have a copy of Steely-Amelia Hybropsyche. You might get looked, might look at you a bit gone out, but yeah, it probably won't be on the shelves yet, but in some cases.
Yeah.
So they can look it up. Obviously, if even if you saw it on Amazon, you can get the ISBN numbers, etc.
Yeah.
So currently just in print and Kindle formats.
Yeah, and we have a lot of people sort of like on Kindle. That seems to be the way they go at the moment, doesn't it? Are you any plans to put this on audio book, or not the audio book now, would it? But audio format, I should say.
Definitely going forward, as I hope to do with all of my books. I have approached the publishers about that, and something to be doing in the future, because they actually do send your book out to tender and get people auditioning for it. They'll read a couple of chapters. I certainly think for Steely-Amelia that obviously a female reader would be better, as long as you can do an Irish accent for the next door neighbour type of thing. But the point is, I don't, in this sort of case, I wouldn't mind if, say for example, if there was an American female wanted to do an audio version of this.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's, it's obviously kind of set in England, but I don't think it necessarily matters if, if it, for authenticity or whatever, that, an American female could do it. I thought someone who was a good feminist, but not an over-the-top feminist, such as Natalie Dormer.
Oh, okay.
I think she'd be brilliant at doing that.
Yeah.
That's just a thought.
Yeah,
on that one.
Definitely. Yeah. Natalie, get in contact.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, sorry, I jogged you there into the camera. So we're going to end it on there. And any more last comments or thoughts that you would like to add on to this?
No, I think I've done enough for this one now.
Okay. Well, that's the end of the interview then. So thank you very much, Steve Birkin of Hybropsyche. I got it right again, for coming in and joining us. And you can find him on Amazon. This is the book here, Waterstones, and he does also do some music on Bandcamp if you want to check out his vocals, which are pretty much better than mine, let's face it. So, so thank you very much. Cheers, Steve. See you soon, man.